Blutbad.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. Today I'll show you how to make a comprehensive diorama. I call this shot Echo Base Attack. I'll also show you my editing process. For this shot I used the Black Series Wampa, Snow Trooper, and Hoth Rebel Trooper. My inspiration for this shot was some deleted scenes from The Empire Strikes Back that show some Wampas wreaking havoc in the rebel base on Hoth. One scene in particular shows C-3PO releasing captive Wampas in an effort to delay the Empire, and here I've put together a shot to imagine the aftermath of that scene. To begin, I covered my concrete ground surface in flour to look like snow, and then taped together these 3D printed walls, creating a large open room for my Wampa attack. This scenery all comes from Landspeeder Luke's Patreon account, for which I'll leave a link in the description. I printed these walls with a low infill, so I also placed some cinderblocks behind them in order to stop my lighting from shining through the thin plastic. Once the walls were in place, I added this black corrugated tubing as some set dressing before placing my main subjects. I imagined the Wampa dragging these troopers off to his den while the rebel trooper hid in an adjacent hallway, praying for his life. After placing my lights, I added some crates and droids to fill out the scene. Lastly, I used this styrofoam cooler lid as a ceiling. Lights out and time to shoot. Here's my starting image. I didn't need much in the way of edits for this shot, just some color correction and lighting adjustment. I began by adding adjustment layers for levels and color balance before using the spot healing brush tool and content aware fill to touch up the figures and the background. Editing out the articulation on the Wampa was super easy thanks to the complex pattern of his fur. Next, I slightly cropped the image before deciding to further tweak the lighting with a curves adjustment layer. Lastly, I used the dodge tool to lighten up my subjects and added a vignette. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and maybe check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time.